Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our virtual yoga class. Today I thought we'd work on hips. We've talked about how hips before how hips is usually where we store stress. So I just thought we'd have a nice, easygoing practice today. For most of the class, we'll be down on our mat. But if you have blocks with you, just grab the blocks at any point. We're probably going to use them just to leverage and work the hips a little bit more. So we'll start in a nice, comfortable cross-legged pose. Hands on the knees, palms up, and just close your eyes and tune into your breathing. For the last classes, we just did breath awareness. But today I'd like to introduce the Ujjayi breathing. Ujjayi is when we constrict the throat to make a little bit of a snoring noise, or just restricting the air from passing. So on the inhale, we restrict the flow. And then we exhale normally. And we'll continue for a couple of breaths. And Ujjayi is very beneficial to lower stress levels, just make us a little bit more calm. So if you're going around the house, you don't know what to do, and you're like, oh, I just wish I could go outside, might be a good time to use your Ujjayi breathing. Ujjayi is also very beneficial for those that have a hard time falling asleep. It's a very calming breath. Just if we think of the moon side and the sun side, it just really activates our moon side, the cooling, calming aspect of our body. So we'll do for a couple of more breaths. Taking a deep inhale will lengthen the spine, and as we exhale, reach forward, keeping the spine long and tall. Just starting to feel our hips warming up. And if this feels comfortable for you, you can bring your hands down to the floor and try going a little bit deeper. And slowly coming back up. I will cross our legs the opposite way. So take the leg that's closest to you, just bring it out to the outside. And then again, just taking a deep breath, lengthening the spine, and exhaling, reaching forward. I always love how when we do both sides, one side's always feeling different. So breathing into the hips, inviting them to release. Again, hands can go on the floor. And inhale, come back up. Just extending the legs, shake them a little bit so we get the blood flowing. And then we can come up to table. And starting with cat-cow, so hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, arch and look up. And exhale, tuck the tailbone round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. One more time. And back to neutral, going to child's pose, giving our body big stretch. Big toes together, we separate the heels. Make sure the top of your feet is down on the floor, and then slide your hands forward. We're trying to bring the forehead down to the mat. Just really giving the spine, shoulders, Big stretch. One more breath. And let's make our way back up. And coming to a seated pose. We'll keep the left leg extended and then taking our right foot as close to the perineum as we can. Keep the spine long and tall. Take a deep breath. And as we exhale, keeping the spine long, trying to reach forward. Trying to bring your chin on top of your toes. Notice where you're feeling this. Notice if you're feeling the stretch in the back of your left leg, or if you're feeling your stretch in the right hip. Just really breathing into the tightness, inviting it to release. In your mind, just visualize, how would it feel if I didn't feel the tightness there? What would need to release? 2 more breaths. And inhale, make your way back up. Keeping the spine long and tall, we'll turn our body towards the right leg. Your left arm on the inside of your left leg. You'll use that left arm to generate a little bit of twist in your body. Keeping the spine long and tall. Let's take the right arm up to the sky and then start reaching overhead. We don't need to go really far here, just keeping form is more important. So long spine, body looking to the side, right arm reaching overhead. If you're feeling a lot of flexibility in this pose, though, you can let your left arm go a little bit lower. You can grab your big toe with your index finger, middle finger, pull a little bit, and then just reach overhead with the goal eventually keeping overhead, right arm coming to touch the big toe as well. But for today, just really staying in a nice place where you can feel the hamstring in your left leg working, your whole right side stretching, feeling the little muscles between your ribs extending. Be here for 1 more breath. Notice how this feels on the right hip. And release. Come back up. You turn back to center, extend the legs and shake. And let's try that other side. So left leg comes in as close as it feels comfortable. If you're feeling a little bit of tension in your knee, you can actually use one of your blocks to support the knee a little higher up. And we take a deep breath, lengthen the spine and reach forward. The goal here is to be hinging at the hips, so we don't want the back to be rounding, but rather long spine. And as we feel the back of our legs, or the back of our right leg letting go a little bit, just trying to reach a little bit farther. Two more breaths. Notice the thoughts, sensation flowing as you're in this pose. And slowly inhale, come back up. Keep the spine long and tall. We turn towards the left leg. Right arm this time on the inside of our right leg. We push gently to keep our body to the side. Deep breath. left arm reaches up and overhead. Let's see if you can keep the toes of your right foot flexed. And again, as we get a little bit more comfortable in the pose, we can let the right arm slide a little bit lower, as long as your elbow is still wedged against the leg, so you can keep pushing to the side. You can grab the big toe just to pull a little deeper, reach a little deeper, and see if your left hand can go and touch your toes as well. And as you guys are in this pose, I'm actually just going to get up right now and just see what everybody's doing. And release. Inhale, come back up. And we turn back towards the center. Extend the left leg and shake, shake, shake. Now we internally rotate the legs a little bit, so we widen the pelvis, just getting a nice pelvic tilt here, and then bringing the soles of our feet together. Gently butterfly. And then just release your knees down. We take a deep breath, lengthen the spine, and we pull forward. Very gently. We don't have to go far in the pose. Just really starting to feel stretch in the inner thighs. And then as you start feeling the muscles releasing, we go a little bit deeper. I usually say we're looking for our edge here, thinking that 0, we feel nothing. 10 is we're gonna hear a pop in the hips. We wanna be at a 7, 8 in terms of edgy. Wanna be at a point where it's hard for you to think about anything other than the sensations in the hips. And this is where everybody has to use their inner wisdom. Sometimes we feel, oh, I think I can go more, I can go more, I can go more. Then we realize we've gone a little too much. So just at any point, feel free to just pull back a little bit. Next inhale, we're gonna come back up and butterfly. And extend the legs and shake. I'll grab the back of our legs and roll down on our mat, bringing knees to chest and hugging the knees in. We rock side to side. And then keeping our right knee in the chest, extend the left leg down on the mat. Just hugging that right knee in. And then bring your right knee out to the right a little bit more. And then see if you can pull it up slightly towards your arm, towards your shoulder. And at the same time, left leg re-engages down into the floor. Nice diagonal pull here. All the way from the left leg to the right. For 3 more breaths. And bring that knee back to center. Bend your left knee, left foot flat on the floor. We'll go to reclined pigeon today. So crossing our right foot over the left knee. On the inhale, left leg comes up. Right arm goes through the legs. And then just clasp your hands behind your left thigh. We take a deep inhale and exhale. Left leg comes closer to the chest. Should really be feeling this in your right glute. And just take a look at your left knee. And we don't want the left knee to be pointing out to the right. So you just want to move that left leg a little bit more so the left knee is pointing straight up. Now for those of you who do recline pigeon, feel, yeah, I feel this a little bit in my right glute, but not so much. Instead of hands behind the thigh, you can actually clasp your hands around your shin and just pull the whole leg in. And just pulling that left knee a little bit more to the left. Be here for 3 more breaths. And you can release the back of your leg. Just extend the left leg up to the sky, right leg up to the sky, hands to the side of your body. And before everybody falls asleep with those really nice, soft poses, work a little bit on core. So I want you to flex your feet, heels reaching up for the sky. We'll take a deep breath on the exhale. Both your arms are pressing down into the floor like you're trying to lift your whole body up. If you're not quite feeling this in your belly, just try and get your heels a little bit higher up and your toes a little bit closer to your face. And release, knees to chest, rock side to side. So hopefully that just woke up your system. And let's do the other side. Left knee stays in the chest, right leg extends down on the mat. Lengthen the breath a little bit more. Try to count to 5 as we breathe in, 5 as we breathe out. Make sure your right leg is engaged in the floor, toes are pointing up. And then just moving that left knee out to the left. And then pull the left knee up into your arm, into your shoulder. If it feels comfortable, we can wrap the left elbow around the knee and re-engage the right leg down into the floor. So really, again, feeling diagonal pull all the way from your right leg into your left hip. For 3 breaths. And release. Bring that left knee back to center. Going to recline pigeon on this side. We bend the right knee, right foot flat on the floor. Place your left foot on top of the right knee. Inhale, right leg comes up, left arm through the legs. We clasp our hands behind the thigh. And gently pulling that right leg in. One more breath. Before we let go of the pose, just see if we can move the right knee a little bit more to the right. See how this feels in the hip. And just for a moment, just see if we can clasp the hands around the shin, pull gently, and release. Just extend that right leg up to the sky, left leg up to the sky. We flex our feet so the heels are reaching up. Hands to the side of the body, palms down. Take a deep breath. Exhale, push, push, push. All of your arms, all of it, just pressing down. Not just the hands, not just the shoulders. Your whole arms just really pressing down, trying to lift your whole body up. 2 more breaths. And release, knees to chest, rock side to side. And then just bring your feet back down, keeping our feet on the floor, knees bent. We're gonna walk our feet as close to the buttocks as we can, feet are hip width apart. Roll your shoulders under so you feel your upper back completely flat on the mat. We take a deep breath, and as we exhale, push the hips up towards the sky and pressing down into the floor. Just make sure your knees are not splaying and opening to the side. We're pulling the knees together as if there was a block between our knees. And if you do have a block, you might want to put it there. And then just see if we can go a little bit deeper. If that feels comfortable, we can clasp our hands behind our back, arms straight, pinky fingers pressing down into the floor, and we try and go a little bit higher. And then just for fun, take a deep breath, see if you can go on the tiptoes, lift up, and exhale. Bring the heels back down. One more time. On the tiptoes, lift up. And heels come back down. You can release the arms from under you and slowly rolling the spine down. One more time, knees to chest, and we rock side to side. And bring your feet back down. We'll keep the soles of the feet together. Take a deep breath. On the exhale, just let your knees open up like a book. And we can make this pose as intense as we want or as relaxing as we want. If you're finding, oh, this feels a little bit tight in my hips, you can grab a block and then just place the block under your knee. And I usually angle the block a little bit so it's a little more comfortable. You can have a block on each side. If you're thinking, oh, I wish I could go a little bit deeper in the pose, hands can go on the thighs and just helping the thighs go a little bit deeper. If you start feeling a lot of arching in your back, just pull back a little bit. We want to make sure that we're engaging core a little bit so there's not much of a gap between your spine and the floor. I mean, there will be a little bit, and that's okay. We just don't want big arching. Be here for 3 breaths. And then placing the hands on the outside of our knees, just help your knees back together. You can separate the feet about the width of the mat, and then just windshield wiper gently. We don't want to go too fast. You really want to see where have we started to feel all of these hip openers. So are you feeling it in your back? Are you feeling it in the glute? Are you feeling it in the joint? And the next time your knees come back up, separate your feet a little bit wider still, and then just let your knees fall in together. And you can take a look, just notice if it feels easier one leg versus the other. And breathe into the leg that feels a little tighter. What would need to happen in that joint for legs to go down equally? If your knees are touching, move your feet out slightly. So you have about 1 inch between both knees. And as you breathe into the pose, if again the knees are touching, just move the knees out a little, the hips, the feet out a little bit more. Be here for 2 more breaths. We definitely don't want to feel this pose in the knees. So if at any point you're feeling the knee take over, just bring your feet a little closer together, let the knees go together. And getting out of the pose, just walk your feet a little bit closer together, windshield wiper. And bring your feet back together. Now cross your right foot over the left knee. Take a deep breath, and as we exhale, let your left knee go down to the left until your right foot is flat on the floor. Once you're there and it feels comfortable, you can actually just bring your hands under your head and just notice where you feel this. If it's feeling quite easy for you, we can start walking the left knee towards the left elbow. A little bit more pull on the right side. Life with the breath. And we'll be here for 3 more. Counting to 5, breathing in, 5, breathing out. And you can walk your legs back down slightly. You're going to bring the legs back up, uncross the legs, and then cross your left foot over your right knee. Deep inhale, and as we exhale, right knee goes down to the right until the left foot is flat down on the floor. And just notice, does it feel the same on this side than it does the other? So again, you need more stretch. Start walking that right knee up towards the shoulder. Get out of the pose, bring the legs back up, uncross the legs. One last time, we'll bring knees to chest, rock a little bit side to side. And when you're ready, bring your feet back down, extend the legs down on the mat, feet mat width apart, hands to the side of your hips, palms facing up. Just roll shoulders under slightly. Take a deep breath and hold the breath in for 1, 2, 3, and exhale. Hold the breath out for 1, 2, 3. Deep inhale. Hold. 1, 2, 3, and exhale. Hold down. 1, 2, 3. And then breathe normally. See if we can relax our feet, our ankles, our legs. And then relax the hips and notice the sensation in your body around your hips. Relax your glutes, your back, your belly, your ribs, shoulders, arms, wrists and hands. And then relax the space between the eyebrows. Relax your cheeks. Let the lips part a little bit. And let the tongue curl up softly. Let your jaw relax. And your scalp relax. And when you're ready, you can come back to a seated pose. This was our practice for today, and thank you everyone for attending and watching. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.